This video is directly relevant to the current email thread that will be addressed after the video. Keep your eyes on City Councilor Steve Olson during this video on March 29, 2022 at the Larimer County Justice Center. Hello. Did you see that? Did you see that? I need
Mr. Adams just assaulted you.
I need to call the security. Where is he? The entire email thread between me and Loveland City Councilor Steve Olson is included with this post on Facebook. If you are watching this video on YouTube or X, you can access the full email thread on Facebook. Stacy Lynn, investigative journalist. I replied all on City Councilor Steve Olson's email to me, and that is why there are at least a dozen recipients. March 2nd, 2025. Mr. Olson, this is a response to your February 22nd, 2025 email. Number 1, you incorrectly claim that I am an, quote, advocate for Councilor Black. You are wrong. As an investigative journalist, I advocate for the truth and for transparency and accountability of government agents and officials through the use of verifiable facts and official evidence. I am focused on reporting the truth and, as a result of that, pursuing justice for all. I do not care which political party that you or anybody else may or may not support. I do not care which religion or whose God that you or anybody else believes in. I do not care what you or anybody else does in the privacy of their own home, as long as all involved are adults and all of those adults are fully capable of consenting to participate in whatever they want to do in private. What I do care about is transparency and accountability in government. That is where you and I clearly have different motivations. Number 2, you incorrectly claim that I, quote, inserted yourself in an exchange act was largely among council, end quote. My email address was included in a public email that was sent to more than a dozen city officials. You are the one who included me in this issue when you defamed me in a public email. Importantly, if I had not been openly copied on that public email, I would not have known that you had gone so far off the rails. That public email was published by the city for the public to see on Global Relay. Number 3, you incorrectly claim that you, quote, never accused Councilor Black of defaming me. Those are your words, end quote. On February 18, 2025 at 10:26 a.m., you write, quote, the only defamation here is Councilor Black's defamation, end quote. You wrote that email. Those are not my words. Number 4, you incorrectly claim that there was a disparity between your comments and Councilor Black's assertion. To prove that Councilor Black was exactly correct and to prove that you were exactly wrong, I provided officially documented audio recording evidence from an official interview of you that was conducted by an official law enforcement officer who was conducting an official investigation into criminal conduct by City Manager Steve Adams. You incorrectly claim that I provided Councilor Black information that was taken from a private conversation. I did not provide Councilor Black with any information. Your, quote, private conversation was no such thing. You were officially interviewed by an investigator from the Larimer County Sheriff's Office. Your not at all private conversation is part of the public record because City Manager Steve Adams assaulted me and you were there when it happened. Adams was publicly charged with the crime of harassment. Adams was publicly prosecuted for the crime. All of City Manager Steve Adams' criminal conduct for assaulting me at the Larimer County Justice Center happened in public. The public record contains the information that Councilor Black accurately recounted. Number 5, you incorrectly claim that I took a, quote, 17-minute conversation extracted 2 to 3 sentences out of a private interview in an apparent attempt to present that my statements had some nefarious intent. End quote. I did none of that. I included the 16-minute unedited interview that is part of the public record. I included the exact quote that Councilor Black took from the unedited interview. By the way, your reference to your nefarious intent goes to your state of mind. You incorrectly, and for the record, here you commit your second publicly broadcasted defamation per se, actual malice act, falsely accused me of using a, quote, typical journalistic technique of picking select sentences in an attempt to make a point without providing the context surrounding the sentences, end quote. I provided the entire unedited interview that you had with the investigator. I provided the entire context. Number 6, you ask, quote, what was your motivation for providing select statements from a 2 to 3 year old investigation that was held privately and was not made public until you chose to do so? Question mark, end quote. I wonder if you are truly not mentally able to track what is happening, or if you are just pretending to be confused. Either way, for the record, I did not provide select statements from a 2 to 3 year old investigation that was held privately. Councilor Aaron Black accurately quoted what you said to the investigator. Councilor Black got that information from the public record. You never had a, quote, private conversation, end quote, with the investigator. You were interviewed by the sheriff's office as part of an official investigation about City Manager Steve Adams' criminal conduct because you were there when Adams assaulted me. Number 7, you end your email with nonsense. Quote, as far as the quotes in the box in your previous email, I am not sure what you are objecting to, especially when they are put in context of the 17-minute interview, end quote. And, quote, appreciate your time to review my clarifications, end quote. Your so-called clarifications are anything but. You either intentionally obfuscate so that the public can't follow what you are doing, or you are unable to mentally track reality. Nevertheless, your email dated February 22nd, 2025 at 9:16 a.m. has added weight to the pending defamation per se actual malice claim against you. Stacy Lynn, Investigative Journalist, 970-402-1582.